what I have here is a simulated data set. So this is not data from any actual membership organization. It's simulated to be similar to what you might see though. And what you can see here is that we've got kind of data in that format that I was talking about before, where for each row is a unique member. We have, because this is data where the outcome is known, we can say this person stayed, whereas this person canceled their membership. I've gotten 4 different metrics that are representative. I've got sort of logins over the past 6 months. So this person logged in 37 times in the last 6 months. This person only logged in 6 times. Comments in the forum, so very active in the forum here. Total number of CEUs over that same time frame. And then here we've got a number of emails that this organization sent to the member. So this organization sent 49 emails to member 1 and only 1 email to member 4. So once I've got data in this format, what I've done is along the bottom here in each of these 4 tabs is I created 1 tab per metric. And what that allows me to do, so if I click in here, it allows me to create these box plots. So this box plot is really just a stacked bar chart for each of these different levels here. So what I've done is I've gone for 0 meaning somebody retained, 1 that they stayed based off the data here. And I plotted out the middle 25% of all, or the bottom 25% of all data for people that stayed is between 0 logins and 17, whereas the bottom 25% of people who left is between 0 and 6. The middle 25 is between 17 and 19 logins in the last 6 months for people who stayed versus 6 and 14 for the people who left. And what I did is I stacked those bar charts on here. So I created this stacked column chart and kind of hid some of the boxes and added a little arrow line here. So if I come into this, you'll actually be able to see. You can create these little error bars here. I just added that on top and bottom here. And that allows me to see the bar chart for people who retained, who actually renewed their membership, and the people who churned, the people who did not, who canceled their membership. And just visually, right off the bat, I can see that these 2 boxes look pretty different. They're not the same at all. There's a little bit of overlap between these 2, but it's very different between those. I feel confident saying logins is predictive in this scenario of the whether or not the member left or stayed. If you don't want to learn how to make these box plots, you can actually use this specific spreadsheet. And if you paste in your data into these columns here, it'll actually automatically update. So you can just kind of rip off what I've already done. So you don't have to worry about learning how to do this. Let's see another example here for comments. So here, I've got my 2 box plots, and they look a little different, but not as different as logins. Here, I would say, just kind of gut feeling visually, it still probably is predictive, but it's much less so. I think there would be less value in using this as a predictive metric as opposed to logins. Whereas if I come into CEUs, even though these are kind of smaller total areas, it looks like these 2 boxes are quite different from each other. And it doesn't really even look like there's much overlap in the middle 50% at all. I would feel very comfortable using this as a predictive metric, probably more so even than the logins one. Just visually, they look quite substantially different from each other. Now, if I come to emails, this doesn't look different at all. So I don't seem to be getting any benefit from segmenting out people based on the number of emails that they had. These 2 boxes look pretty much identical to me. I would not feel confident using this as a predictive metric. And in fact, if this were my data set and I was trying to do this analysis, I would probably throw away this metric. I would delete this tab and delete it from my data set to make it easier to use. So that's steps 1, 2, and 3. So you start with identifying, brainstorming your metrics. You then get the data in the format that I presented to you here. And then if you plot them in box charts, you'll be able to see the difference and get a good intuition about whether or not that metric actually was predictive or not.